Hello and welcome back to the Building HVAC Science Podcast. I think by now you know it's our goal to help create better, more knowledgeable HVAC and building performance technicians and contractors by helping the two professions better understand each other. This podcast aims to create customers that are happy in the homes they live in and the buildings they work in. I also host the Res Talk podcast, that's RESTALK. You can learn more about the rapidly expanding world of home energy ratings and peripheral topics. In today's episode, Elk and I get to interview Danny Huffman, who is founder of Second Chance University in Florida. Danny shares the transformative mission behind his organization, which started when he was really young. Some observations in his youth that he describes in the podcast. And the goal of his organization is to help individuals transition from incarceration, substance abuse, or homelessness and rebuild their lives through HVAC training, life skills development, and career preparation. What a comprehensive program Danny has built there in Florida. You'll learn about how Second Chance has an intensive 6-week program providing participants not only with the technical expertise, a lot of hands-on as he explains, but also the mental tools and confidence needed to succeed in life and work. This episode's a must-listen for anyone interested in workforce development, second chances, or the transformative power of education and mentorship. So let's get into the conversation Elk and I had with Danny Huffman on rebuilding lives, the mission of Second Chance University.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Building HVAC Science Podcast. Eric Kaiser here, Bill Spohn right over there. We got a really cool guest here today. I learned about this organization we've been selling some products to this organization for a little while, and I learned about them from our customer service team. And I wanted to bring Mr. Danny Huffman on from Second Chance University and really introduce him and their program to all of our listeners, because I think this program is a really neat thing, and I think it's helping the people that go through it a lot. So, Danny, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Danny, why don't you give us a little bit of background on how you arrived at this place where you're operating Second Chance University?
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Literally, it began many years ago. I lived on a farm in Texas on the border of New Mexico, Texas, and Mexico. And across the Rio Grande was a place called La Tuna Federal Institution for, obviously, individuals who've been convicted on the federal level. So I'd always look across the river. They were about a mile away and going, I wonder who these people are. So as a young child, I was curious. And then we had the opportunity to play softball against many of the inmates, the trustees, as well as inside the fence. So we went in there, and all I could hear prior to news and to different community beliefs that, be careful, these people are monsters. Don't talk to them. They're horrible people. We went in there, we played softball. We got beat because they're much better than us. But I learned that these were just people who made mistakes. That's it. Quite honestly, we all make mistakes. So for me to be under the belief that they're monsters was just not the right way to go. So I knew at a very early age, at 12 years old, that, gosh darn it, there's something that needs to be done. In addition, I have many family members, directly and indirectly, who've been in and out of institutions. And I know the difficulties firsthand as to what community believes these people are like. So Second Chance University came about over years of developing curriculum, developing ideas in different ways to help individuals who society somehow does not believe is as worthy as anybody else. Again, we all make mistakes. Some doesn't matter what the mistake is. I hate to say that, but everybody deserves a second chance. I believe hope, where there's hope, then we should try to let those beliefs and come to fruition. And that's literally Second Chance University.
When did this all start to operate in its current form? Like what year?
In its current form, back in 2004 or 5, Second Chance University wasn't born yet, but I'm a writer by trade. I write books, academic books, different colleges and universities. I spoke at many functions and conferences across the United States, and I would always discuss how career directors could assist individuals who have a criminal background. So after many years of doing this, I came to the realization that a lot of people don't care. So how can I make it where it's a program that is beneficial for the individual? So 2012, we worked with the community, Second Chance University. We did extremely well and in regards to helping people transition. Back in 2019, we officially became Second Chance University, devoted to the concept of breaking the criminal conviction cycle. And we also own and operate an air conditioning company called Tropical Air of Central Florida. And so it was a fantastic partnership. And then through the years, we've just developed and gained a lot of different partnerships with TruTech, for example, with CareerSource of Central Florida, and many of the organizations here. But owning an air conditioning company, we realized very quickly that there's not a lot of good technicians out there who have the fundamental knowledge, the tools, and the mental aptitude or attitude to get the job done. And that's what we do.
Where's your location? I don't think we covered that yet.
We are in Sanford, Florida, and definitely it's a turnkey operation. So one of these days we want to go into other states and different departments of corrections and expand and help people. Literally, we're focusing on individuals who are transitioning from either justice involved or substance abuse or homeless. That is our goal. And it is so scalable that we can do this. So throwing that out there.
And how much is HVAC related?
HVAC is related because Second Chance University in and of itself works with the personal and life skills, attitude, visualizations, the clarity, the choice, and the confidence of an individual. We had to partner with another firm that we believe in, HVAC Technical Academy, sponsors with us, and they are HVAC experts. We brought them on as a partner. They are a for-profit partnership. Second Chance University is a nonprofit. So not only did we want to make sure that the stigma of an individual going through a program, his certificate doesn't say Second Chance University, because the very first thing somebody's going to think about is, there's going to be some negativity. So we had to partner with another company, and we did with HVAC Technical Academy. So that way the stigma is erased. And that's one of the things we work with, is building the confidence, desensitizing some of the community and some of the employer issues that they may have about hiring an individual who has made a mistake.
Are there other career paths that are included in the Second Chance?
At this point, indirectly, yes. We're working with a couple of other organizations to bring in some other vocational programs. At this point, there is not. Second Chance University is with HVAC, but that's the building block, and we're ready for that. But what we're also trying to do with Second Chance University is go into the prison systems for release, for reentry programs, and assist individuals as they transition out. So it's not just for HVAC. My goal is to get their attitude, the psychological, all of those life skills that need to be done to succeed. So partnering with HVAC Technical Academy is not exclusive. We'll partner with many other organizations and to help as many people as possible.
If someone is intrigued by this idea, what's the best way to follow up with you?
There's a couple of ways. You can either go through secondchanceuniversity.org, and it's 2ND, don't spell out second. So it's secondchanceuniversity.org. And a lot of information is there. So if anybody would like to find out specifically what we're doing and how we can help their community or an individual who is transitioning out and get them into literally a positive career path, but a life path. It's not, like I say, just about the vocation. So either that, or you can contact me through hvacta.com. That's our website, or email me directly at dhuffman, Huffman, at secondchanceuniversity.org.
So I've been asked all the questions here, Eric. I'll give you a chance. And then again, a roll.
You've covered a lot of what I had in my mind really to find out about this. I was very intrigued when I learned about this from our customer service manager, Greg. And I'm curious about where all you accept people from nationwide. Is this just local? Do you accept people from Florida? And how do people live near the school when they're doing that? Is that local housing there?
They're not on the facility. We have a couple of acres here. And on one of our acres, we do have a Airbnb. And so many of the students who come in from out of town, out of the country, literally, we've had people coming over from the Bahamas because they did their research and they realized, hey, this is a great program, as well as Puerto Rico. There's several Airbnb single rooms real close here. So it's not just for Florida, and it's for anywhere, anyone. To make it even easier, this is only a 6-week program, which people tip, how can you do this in 6 weeks? And my response is, how can you do it in 1 year when you can do it in 6 weeks? Because we have partnerships with TruTech, with several other organizations here, we're able to have an extremely aggressive program. So it's from 9 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, every day for 6 weeks. And we are out there working hard. It's not a class. It's not a school in that mental capacity. It is a workshop. This is a work environment. Every person in here works. You don't sit back. Yeah, we do have curriculum that I wrote, and we do have other things, but the main focus is using the tools that we provide, that we purchase and we secure from different organizations, and putting them to work, working hard, from system swaps to, of course, vacuum and everything that you can imagine that they would do for the first 6 months to a year. They feel very, very comfortable and confident in doing those. So yeah, it's from all across.
So it sounds like you're really trying to get these people set up, ready for an entry-level position?
Yes.
Is that the goal, to where they can walk into a company, maybe not be on the bottom of the totem pole? They're not going to be on the top, but they're going to come in there. They're going to have a good idea of what they're doing, and they're going to be able to go to work.
They will go to work. It's not uncommon for many of our participants to have a job prior to our graduation. Typically what happens is an individual who graduates here will get a job very quickly because our reputation is that we know what we're doing and we treat these students or participants the way that they should be treated in a workplace environment, that they'll get into a job, and within 2 weeks, many of them have their own van for troubleshooting. So we go through all of that. So yeah, this here accelerates the training program, that if you hire somebody and you have to go through the training, this here does it. We go through their EPA 608, of course. I'm a proctor. We're getting the certification so I can train each person in OSHA. We go through the hands-on, and also individuals get tools. They get the manifold, they get the gauge set, they get clamp meters, about the bags. So they're ready. Tools, certification, the mental, life skills, employer expectations, OSHA, literally, they are prepared to work.
So you mentioned something right there that interested me, life skills. What life skills are you helping to teach these people?
I'm so glad you asked. And I'm going to show you this right here. Just here, if you can see that. It's simply a book that I wrote literally. And what it does is it gives individuals a sense of purpose and a sense of worth and a sense of belonging. The book is about his life skills. We go through the looking glass self-theory, trauma-informed care, relationship building. Those are the 3 key elements of that particular book. It is also in multiple places. But what we do is, for the first hour and a half, we go through that for 6 weeks about affirmations, building confidence, conflict resolution, customer expectations, customer service, employer expectations, community expectations. How do I react when a situation like this comes up? So they have the technical skills that we're going to teach them, but to me, more importantly, they have the mental, the ability to know what's going on. My concept is I teach them clarity, choice, and confidence, because that will follow them. Those 3 C's will follow them no matter where they go in life. And then we have the full-time instructors who teach them the competence. And that is literally, in a nutshell, what Second Chance University is all about, building them. Because if you've ever known anybody who's been incarcerated, even for a few months to multiple years, and we've had individuals for over 20 years come out 2 months after they've been released, go through our program, and within 2 months, they're employed and doing wonderfully. They're succeeding. And not only does that bring about that self-confidence and the family, but the community is so much safer. We're teaching individuals community safety as well, because if we get these individuals to succeed, that means taxes decrease. That means your safety increases. That's what it's all about. If it's okay with you, I will tell you a little true story as another reason why I'm doing this. Will you give me that luxury?
Yeah, absolutely.
When I was 13 years old, we moved out into Canutillo, Texas, and I had a 1952 truck, 13 years old, stick shift, old truck. Beautiful. I'm so upset that we don't have it anymore. So it was time for me at 13 to learn how to drive the truck, because out on the farm, you have to know that. So I'm there. My dad, wonderful person, he gets me to start the vehicle, and it's just all dirt roads. And down about a quarter mile is a tree. And said, go down this dirt road, but do not hit that tree. So that's the only thing that I remember is do not hit that tree. And as I'm pulling out, he says, don't forget, do not hit that tree. So my concentration is literally, of course, on the tree. What I cannot do, what I'd not be able to do. So I'm going, and of course, I veer into the tree. The valuable lesson I learned from that, and what Second Chance University, we want to eliminate the don't do, the can't do. Because once you tell, I'm sorry, you're transitioning out and you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't succeed, you're not worthy. We concentrate on what you can do, what you will do, and we give you the tools to do it. So my dad taught me a lesson. My mind, all I could think about was the not. I want our guys and girls to think about what they can do, how to succeed. And if anybody is serious about succeeding, this program will do that. This upcoming term, I have 3 young ladies who are going to be coming in here, which is fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that. We have a maximum of 10 students each term because we do a lot of hands-on, a lot of safety, and a lot of relationship building. That's what it's all about. We typically reach capacity a month or month and a half before the term begins. So it's very popular. It's very successful, but I can't accept a lot of people. I have 2 full-time instructors, a TA, and myself for 10 people. So we know this demographic very well, and we know what works and what doesn't work. The vast majority of our graduates get employment in HVAC, and they're very successful. Some, they don't. But that's always going to happen. They fall back on whatever it is that triggered bad behavior.
I think that happens in any school. You're not going to get 100% of the people coming out getting employed into something like that. So
it's sad, but true.
It is.
We also concentrate. It's because we deal with so many people who have consequences. They have we work a lot on the clarity, choice, confidence, on the triggers, the triggering. We work on the cause, not the consequence. So if we talk about something, if I know we are building a relationship, we know that this here is an issue, we work on that issue and how to recognize it and how to overcome that issue. That is 9 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock, relationship, the cause, not the consequence.
How do potential students or participants find out when they're incarcerated? What kind of communication gets your message in front of them?
I wish there was more, definitely. And that has been a major problem. Today, I am speaking to the Department of Corrections in Florida, one of the branches, only because they know who we are. I'm going to be giving a webinar. I would love to be giving webinars to as many individuals who are incarcerated. It's a very small operation. And so that is a problem. As it is nonprofit, we don't have the people, the funds to really stretch, but I'm hoping that things will change. And I think it will. So if you know somebody, and I always tell people, if you know somebody who's works for a correctional facility or for a police officer or anything like that, who really cares about the community and wants to help, give me the contact. Contact me and I'll make the next move.
I've actually got a couple people in mind. I don't want to say their names, but I'll reach out to them and see and give them your contact information.
But it is a 360-degree operation. I've been writing resumes. We do marketing letters. We do letters of explanation. And oddly enough, not many people even know about letters of explanation, but we do that. And I insist that we do because I want each individual, when they go to a job interview, and we go through an interview, we do all that. When we go to a job interview, they say, well, tell me a little bit about yourself, that they know how to respond to a background, how to turn that background into, well, I don't want to say major advantages because it never is, but turn it into a not so negative. We inoculate it. So we go through all that whole procedure. So it's, like I say, the 360, and knowing individuals who could help, that would be fantastic.
So you've mentioned funding here a couple times. How do you obtain your funding to keep the school running? I mean, if for a nonprofit, you got to be getting funding from somewhere.
Many of our students go through CareerSource. It's a state-sponsored nonprofit here. And when they do and they qualify, then they get to have full sponsorship. So in that regard, if they don't, then up until recently, it was coming out of our pocket, most of it. I was very successful. I am very successful in the past with my writing, with Tropical Air of Central Florida. And so we were able to bring in a lot of our own, literally our own personal money. And we still do. We don't make, obviously, I'm not on the payroll, nor is my wife, nor most of the people here, because they want to give back. And I've been very fortunate where I have had some financial success in previous things. So that's donations. I've tried, but again, many people who I've tried with, many of the companies that I tried with, their belief, at least the individuals that I work with, that individuals, they had their chance, they blew it. I'm going to give donations to individuals or organizations who don't have that demographic. And I've been told that literally, that I'm sorry, we don't give to individuals who have been incarcerated because other people who are more worthy just by its very nature. I don't believe that stand, but that's the way that it is.
If somebody did want to donate to you to help out the organization, how could they do that?
Well, a couple of choices. They could go through secondchanceuniversity.org, and we do have a donation page. They can reach out to me, and I will have Elaine send the donation application, or not app, but receipt and all of that. Quite honestly, I have had one person in all of these years, one person donate. And it was a wonderful thing. And it was a student's parents, because we did so much for that student that it was such a transformation that the parents were so happy. And it was free because he went through CareerSource, that they gave us $1,000 donation, which in all the years, that is literally the only donation we've ever had. And everything else has to come out of our pocket. But I was very happy because things are expensive. Tools are expensive. Books are expensive. And that's the way that it is. Or you can even give me a call. I can give you my phone number. Is that okay?
If you want to share it, sure.
Yeah. You want to share it, that's great.
Yes, it's 407-878-0474. If you have any questions, 407-878-0474. If you have any questions, how we can help you, how we can even go to your state, try to build a company, build an organization like this. Or if you know somebody, and I have, many individuals have come over here. We have bicycles because there's a Airbnb fairly close, and you just use our bike and do that. But
how can employers find out about the students you have coming out of there if they want to hire somebody?
Ultimately, we do have a list of a bunch of employers who are more relaxed, or at least open to individuals who have justice judicial background. And so I reach out to email, send them resumes, call companies, and we've had a lot of luck on that. So it's really that way. I am getting more and more companies call us and come down and say, hey, do you have any employers or any candidates that I would be interested in? They tell me a little bit about what they're looking for, and I'll go, I know just the right person. So we're starting to get that relationship with companies. I would love to have more companies do this, come in, talk to the students, understand what we do, and see how everything is under one roof. And the amount of work that these students do, it is mind-boggling that we do this in 6 weeks. Every employer that we've had, every company that we've had come in here, they were shocked at the level of confidence and competence that these people have learned and so quickly. It is amazing, and I am always impressed.
What are some of the books you have written as a professional author, your trade?
Now that you mention that, we do have several books that go into different institutions. My books that I've typically wrote are, for example, a little thing like this. This is for the University of Alabama. It's for their College of Business at Culver House. So Herzing, YTI Institute, a bunch of different places like that, mostly academic. Right now, I am writing, or we have programs that are, for example, a 6-month or a 5-month reentry program that I've written 18 books from everything that you could possibly imagine for the reentry. And I would love to put this more in an institution that would benefit.
What was the name of that book?
This one here is Alternatives to Incarceration.
Okay.
16-week program. So it goes from dealing with the psychological to interviewing to developing skills, just about the whole thing about life skills. Another book that I wrote has never been read, never been published. This one here is more of a nonfiction as to why and how this was created, Second Chance University, and the mental things that I went through and all of that good stuff. But it's called Epilogue's Shadow. It is a masterpiece. It is something that I know that if somebody were to look at and read, they would want this because it deals with the psychological and the philosophical aspects of incarceration and transitioning and trying to make the best of what you have and to take advantage of the things that you do have, how to maximize. But Epilogue Shadow is something that I share with my class. And what I do with this is I let my students know, and I'll hold this up there and I say, look, this book is a dream of mine. And I want to read this book and I want to share this book. But I've been rejected 20 times by publishers, which is actually true. But I'm not giving up. And one of these days, this will be read and become a masterpiece. And just like you, each person in your life, you just transitioning out of incarceration, don't give up. I'm not giving up on this. And I don't want you to give up on your dreams. And so I parallel or juxtapose my struggles and rejections to theirs, building a relationship, building my vulnerability to each person. And then that's reciprocated in a very, very emotional way. I think I said too much.
No. It's amazing.
Sorry, I do ramble. I get very excited. I got goosebumps just talking about this stuff.
You can see.
I don't know when to shut up.
We appreciate passion.
Yes, we do.
For anything that somebody does, and your passion definitely shows through very well, and that's very appreciated.
Well, one of the things I wanted to say in regards to our program, we do have partnerships, TruTech Tools, but we also have partnerships to help with, it's called HVAC Simulator. And Dirk is a wonderful, wonderful individual. ESCO, we have Kalos, it's a family-owned company in Claremont. Wonderful individuals, but I'm super excited because with a 3D HVAC simulator, our students, what we do is in class, we have our curriculum, which is this here, written by us, because that way we can make the changes. The refrigerant changes are already in the book for next term. But we go through the curriculum, we go through virtual simulators, we go through the products, and then we go out here and we actually do it. So there's a lot of repetition. We concentrate on all of the learning skills, but most of the people in this particular industry, from my understanding, likes hands-on. And we give them a heck of a lot of hands-on. But with the simulator and Dirk, with TruTech, with CareerSource, we have some super strong partnerships that we wouldn't be here if not for that. And to be quite honest, there a couple of years ago, because it was costing us a lot of money, because we were almost going to close down, and then we just couldn't because it's just the wrong thing to do.
I'm glad you've stayed open and persevered.
And I'm hoping that we can do something here through this podcast or through connections or contacts to help you on your mission. I've already made a couple notes here, and I'm sure Eric has some ideas, and he's I already made some introductions for you. So we're supportive of that. Any closing thoughts you'd like to leave for our listeners?
My closing thought is there's only two things we can do in life, and that's, in my opinion, and that's the right thing or the wrong thing. I want to do the right thing. And there's many times that I've maybe not done the right thing in life, as well as everybody. Forgiveness. And forgiving starts with forgiving yourself. My goal here is to teach individuals to forgive themselves so they can learn and be appreciative and know that, yeah, today is just a new day, but we can make that new day a wonderful day. And we go through a lot of affirmations here and visualizations because many individuals don't know how to visualize a positive outcome. And so we go through that. Clarity, choice, and confidence will guide everyone through everything. And that's my goal. And of course, the competence with HVAC. So my closing, or if somebody were to ask anything in that regard about Second Chance University, it's a passion. It's a belief. It's not just HVAC. It doesn't have to be just HVAC. And I've had people come here knowing that they didn't want HVAC, but they wanted the core of what we do and how we change lives, and that everybody deserves that. Knowing that 96% of the individuals who are incarcerated leave incarceration, they go into the community. We need to do something for those 96% because if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Nothing changes. Yeah. I think the reason we're talking, we've been working on our core values the last few years. We have 4. Our first one is do the right thing. And that's exactly what you mentioned a couple minutes ago.
Oh, cool.
I think that's why we're talking today. And I appreciate Greg and Eric who brought this together, this conversation together. You've given us contact information. We'll put links to the website. We've got your phone number. We're going to put it out there. Probably your email too.
Yes, please.
And anyone who listens to this and can think of someone where Danny can connect with a program to help, we encourage you to do that.
Thank you. I have reached out to several cities and different grant opportunities, but funding would be fantastic. If not, that's okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to give up, and we're going to help people no matter what.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Danny. Appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you.
We appreciate you tuning in and listening to this episode of the Building HVAC Science Podcast. Some of the other great trade-related resources and influences out there include HVAC Overtime, HVACR videos, the HVAC Grapevine, HomeDiagnosis.tv, AC Service Tech, MeasureQuick, HVA Chicks, The Misfits of HVAC, HVACR School, Stephen Reardon, HVAC Reefer Guy, Tool Pros, Service Business Mastery, Quality HVAC. If you have any questions or wish to suggest a topic or give us some feedback, please reach out by sending an email to marketing@TruTechTools.com. That's TruTechTools.com. And if you're in the market for any tools or test instruments mentioned in the podcast, take a look at what my company, TruTech Tools, offers. TruTechTools.com. And you can use the offer code HVACBS for a nice discount. The Building HVAC Science Podcast is a production of TruTech Tools Limited. In full disclosure, I'm the owner of TruTech. The opinions expressed are those of my guests, my co-hosts, or myself, depending on who is speaking, of course. Thanks again for listening in, and we hope to continue to deliver you more great content here on Building HVAC Science. Take care.